Happening world? B Marsh Boxing back at it once again with another post-fight review. Here we got Dillian Whyte in his comeback fight after getting stopped by Tyson Fury earlier this spring, 2022. Comes back, he fights this undefeated guy out of Saginaw, Michigan by the name of Jermaine Franklin. Comes in at 19 and 0. Let me hear what this guy Dylan got to say. Man, he ain't talking about nothing. B Marsh Boxer, y'all. So the man body snatcher, Dillian Whyte, was living up to his name, at least in the first half of the fight. Slim was digging to the body, you know what I mean? Using his jab. He's with a new trainer, a guy I very much respect. As a trainer, I think he's a greater trainer than he was a boxer, although he was a superb boxer. Long Island's own, Long Island, New York's own Buddy McGirt. Okay, two division champ. Now, Dylan White is with this new trainer, Buddy McGirt, who's all about fundamentals. You know what I mean? He ain't really going to change what you do. He's just going to enhance what you do, make you a better fighter. And Dillian White was going to the body using his jab. You know what I mean? Fighting behind his jab and digging to the body. It was actually a jab. Let me hear this guy. It was actually the jab and the left hook. I'm sorry, jab and the right hook to the body. That's what them fellas was all about. You know what I mean? Yeah, he was attacking to the head. But round one, I gave it to Dillian White. Round two, Jermaine O'Neal. I said Jermaine O'Neal. Jermaine Franklin, I gave him round two. You know what I mean? I thought he let his hands go more. And Dillian White was just more going to the body. The other guy was landing big shots. You know what I mean? Jermaine Franklin is a guy I never heard of. I keep it tall with y'all. Let's hear what Jermaine got to say. He says he got robbed. Oh man, he's not. He's not pleased with the results, and I'm gonna give y'all my results in a sec. Now, round three, I gave to Dillian White, body snatcher, like I said, living up to his name, digging shots to the body. This was one of more his most impressive body shot barrage I've seen in a while. You know what I mean? And I gave him rounds three and four. Round five and six. Excuse, was it round? Yes, round five and six. I gave it to Jermaine Franklin. You know what I mean? Jermaine Franklin was, they were close rounds. He wasn't straight Washington in these rounds, but I thought he did the better work out there, landing the bigger shots. You know what I'm saying? Also himself going to the body. You know what I mean? And landing some nice headshots. You know what I mean? Them fellas was taking shots, but giving shots. Dylan White is a master at the catch and shoot technique. You know what I mean? But he really didn't quite display that today. He wasn't really catching and shooting back. Because like I said, he was mostly going to the body. You know what I mean? Five and six, I gave it to Jermaine Franklin. Around seven and eight, I gave it to the man. What's his name? Dillian White. But round nine, that fella's Dylan White, man. I gave it to the dude, Jermaine Franklin. You know what I mean? Jermaine Franklin hurt and wobbled the man, Dylan White. Now, that's nothing new. If you've seen Dylan White in almost all of his fights, he'd be having the spaghetti legs, you know what I mean? Noodles. And them fellas got caught with a mean overhand right. He threw a lazy jab. Them fellas, Jermaine Franklin came over the top with a beautiful overhand right that wobbled the man. Dillian White, you know what I'm saying? And that was round nine. Round 10 and 11, close rounds. But the man, Jermaine Franklin, was gaining momentum from that big overhand right that he wobbled. Because nobody at this point where the fight had got hurt. up until round 9 when the man caught him with that mean overhand right. You know what I mean? When Jermaine Franklin caught him with the overhand right. Round 10 and 11 were close rounds, but I gave it to the man Franklin because Franklin was the more aggressive fighter, you know what I mean? He had taken the man Dillian Whyte out of his comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? He was no longer just, using the jab. Dillian Whyte, to me, this whole particular fight was fighting at one pace except the 12th round, you know what I mean? The 12th round was where he did pick up the pace. You check it, and round 11 and 12 was just all Franklin, in my opinion. I mean, but round 12, I gave it to the man, Dillian Whyte. As a matter of fact, I thought Dillian Whyte was about to stop him because he himself, Dillian Whyte, caught Jermaine Franklin with a big right hand. You know what I'm saying? Like a kind of right hook, not a straight shot. That kind of wobbled the man Franklin on the ropes. I mean, and he started just teeing off on him. You know what I'm saying? You know, there was actually a round where Jermaine Franklin got hit with a big overhand right himself by the man. I think it was at the end of round 10. I think round 10. A big overhand right landed by Dillian Whyte. That fella's Jermaine Franklin ate that joint, dogs. He ate that joint and just screamed in the man's face like, boy, please, is that all you got? You know what I mean? That shit was crazy. But round 12, all them big shots that Jermaine Franklin and Dillian Whyte were landed. Round 12, they went to war, you know what I mean? They gave the people what they wanted. They went to war. I gave round 12 to the man, Dillian Whyte, you know what I'm saying? So overall, yeah, I had this fight a draw. 6 rounds apiece, you know what I mean? I had this fight a draw. The American in his first fight out of the United States going overseas showed improved. Now, this guy is a guy, Eddie Hearn and that. I mean, Eddie Hearn are the same guys who used to match guys like Kell Brook with fighters who have 200 plus losses. Yeah, you heard that right. You ain't got to repeat. They find guys with 200 plus losses. So they thought this guy, Jermaine Franklin, was sweet. A guy who had fought twice in the last 3 years, very inactive, you know what I mean? A guy whom we never heard of, a guy whose caliber fighters he fought. That's the reason why he's undefeated, because these guys are nobodies. But really and truly, if Jermaine Franklin won this 12th round on my card, he would have won this fight 7 rounds to 5, 115, 113. All right, so nobody hit the deck, no knockdowns in this fight. Dillian Whyte, my assessment of how he looked with Buddy McGirt, I think he, like I said, he was just fighting at one pace, you know what I mean? Just basically in cruise control. Maybe he didn't quite respect the American, Franklin, you know what I mean? Till he got caught in round 9 with that big overhand right, and he got the spaghetti legs, noodles. And I ain't talking about noodles from Once Upon a Time in America. If you know, you know. B-Marsh Boxing, I had this fight 6 rounds apiece, you know what I mean? The judges, however, had this fight, one judge had it a draw, 115, 115. I don't know what the fuck kind of scorecard is that. That means this fight, that means he had this fight was a 14-rounder, 115, 115, and gave each fighter 7 rounds apiece. More than 7 rounds apiece. You check it. It's crazy, man. Them fellas, I don't know what kind of scorecard that was for a draw. But then the other 2 judges had it 116, 112. So Dillian Whyte escapes with a majority decision in his comeback fight after finally getting his world title shot earlier this spring. He fought Tyson Fury and he got laid down with that uppercut. You know what I'm saying? So Buddy McGirt, how do I feel about him with the man Dillian Whyte? Well, time will tell, You're only as good as your last fight. And really and truly, Dillian Whyte looks like he's slipping a little bit. He's slipping on his pimping, y'all. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he got knocked out by Tyson Fury. Expectedly so as far as losing the fight. Now, the devastating KO, I'm not going to say that was expected, but it is what it is. But tonight he looked quite lethargic against this American from Saginaw, Michigan, who ain't never fought nobody of caliber. You know what I'm saying? In his first fight overseas, like I said, Eddie Hearn and them thought this guy was sweet, and they just walk over him. I'm pretty sure that's what Eddie Hearn told this dude. But them left hooks that that the man was landing. You know what it was? Dillian White was concentrating so much on the body, right? And he landed a couple uppercuts in there, but his counter shot, everything after the lead shot, whether it's a lead uppercut or the jab, was a body shot. So he was kind of predictable. While the man Jermaine Franklin was also teeing off to the body. He's showing them dogs, you the body snatcher. I could do this too, dogs. You know what I mean? That big right hook that the man in round at the end of round 10 took, Jermaine Franklin, and then he laughed and screamed in Dillian White's face. I know that probably took a lot out of confidence out of Dillian White as far as him knocking this dude out. You know what I mean? But the left hooks to the body and to the head from Jermaine Franklin, to me, were why this fight could have easily, might have could have gone his way, especially if he won round 12, which on my card he didn't. Hence why I have this fight 6 rounds apiece, y'all. You check it. Yes, indeed. Um, so I had this fight, what, 112, 112? Okay. B Marsh Boxing, I'm in the chat. What up, PNC? What the deal, my G? Big up PNC per usual. Always, all day, day. PNC asks, who won? Dillian White got a little slight gift, you know what I mean? Very close fight. I had this fight a draw, but they gave the dub to Dillian White. Of course, they're trying to build up a fight with Anthony Joshua next, you know what I mean? And Anthony Joshua was in attendance, front row for this fight. So that's what they're trying to do, you know what I mean? The world ain't ready for Jermaine Franklin, or especially, let me say the British. We'd love to see the American get a shot versus Anthony Joshua. But in England, they don't want to see Jermaine Franklin again. He almost beat Dillian White. They want to see Dillian White rematch versus Anthony Joshua. Mike Ring says, lost $20 on Bravado on this one. Thanks again, Hearn. Dillian is finished at the highest level. Anyone with power KOs White. I agree with you 100% on that, Mike's Ring. Because, look, Dillian White has always been known to have a faulty chin, you know what I mean? Now, some may deny it because they fanboys of Eddie Hearn. People who are like guys like Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn, and I'm not Eddie Hearn, but Dillian White, and anybody with Matchroom, they not so much these boxers fans. They fans of Eddie Hearn. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, I be seeing black dudes on this YouTube shit shucking and jiving, cooning for the man Eddie Hearn. That shit is sad, pathetic, but it is what it is. Do you? You know what I mean? But as far as them fellas, Dillian White being at the top level, look, he waited for a while for his title shot. He got it and he wet the bed. You know what I mean? In front of, was it 70,000 people? Now, no shame in his game. He lost to the better fighter. But if fellas like Hellenius been rocking him, and he's been rocked by so many people, almost every fight. Them fellas, Joseph Parker. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. His chin is fragile, man. It's a China glass chin, so China shop chin, so it's a wrap. PNC King says, I heard of Franklin. Okay. I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. I'll keep it tall with y'all 100. I'd never heard of this dude one before until he got this fight with Dillian White. RI says White won that. RI says by 1 round. Okay. That's your opinion, and I'm not mad at your opinion, you know what I mean? But I had this fight a draw, 6 rounds apiece, you know what I mean? But it was a very, very good, entertaining fight, heavyweight boxing, y'all. This fight was not, this fight was action packed. I'm not saying they brawled all throughout. No, it was a great fight because Jermaine Franklin ain't come here to lay down. Them fellas really came here to get the dub. And then when they asked him at the end of the fight, he says he felt like he got robbed. You know what I mean? You check it. So I'm not sure when Dillian White will be fighting Anthony Joshua. You remember they was trying to lie to us that Anthony Joshua will be back by December the 3rd. I knew he ain't coming back by December the 3rd after losing to Alexander Usyk in the fashion he lost and throwing that temper tantrum after that fight. That dude's not in the right space to just get back in the ring within 5 months or whatever. When the last fight, that fight happened with Alexander Usyk, the rematch. You know what I mean? It's a very entertaining fight overall. Big ups to both fighters, and they gave the victory. At least one judge had it. I don't know about 115, 115. I don't know how he got that. That's 7 rounds apiece. I don't get it, but it is what it is. Big ups to everybody in the chat. Of course, my man PNC, Mike's Ring. Salute to you, RI. Be March Boxing. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Leave your thoughts and comments. If you're new to the channel, please share and subscribe. And please let me know how you guys saw this fight. You know what I mean? I'm very eager. I'd love to hear what y'all opinion and what y'all thought about this fight and who you guys thought won this fight. All right? Be March Boxing. Big ups to everybody. I'm gone. Peace.